Hey, hey,
Hello.
hello. Hey, teacups. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. I'm your girl, Monica. And joining me today is TikTok sensation, Amir. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. The rest of the crew are all like recuperating from New Year's Eve. DJ Richie Sky's down in Miami having a good old time. Oh my goodness. I am getting my entire life based off his Instagram.
I know he is living his life, honey.
He is living it up. So the whole entire crew will everyone will be back next Monday. But today it's me and Amir holding it down. And we are recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya Moore is accusing her friend, quote unquote, Cynthia Bailey of getting married for camera time. Let's get into it.
A website called All About the Tea.
She told All About the Tea that during the fight,
All right. Can everyone hear me and Amir? Just comment in the chat. Let us know if you can hear us before we even get started. Let's do a sound check. All right. Yes, they can hear us. Yes. Hey, everyone. Yep. Can you hear us? Just let us know, a thumbs up or something, letting us know if you can hear us. So before we dive into things and you don't hear anything.
Exactly.
Hey, moderators, can you hear us? Delvin, I see you on there. Yes. Okay, here, it's rolling in now. Okay, it looks like they can hear us.
Perfect.
All right, so let's dive into this episode. It's episode 4. We've missed the first 3, which we didn't miss much. I turned the TV on and I'm like, who are these people? All these new people, all these new faces. I don't adjust well, No, I like
Me neither.
I like old faces. I like the people I know, So the episode kicks off with Kandi and her daughter. She's getting her daughter Riley ready for college and sending her off. And she's with her right-hand man, Don Juan. And he's basically telling her that she coddles Riley too much.
Somebody said it.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Mama Joyce mainly raised Riley. Kandi was busy out on the road touring a lot. So, Kandi would just come home and spoil Riley with gifts.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know how, I guess in that sense, maybe not coddled, but spoil is what I got from that. Yeah.
Or feeling guilty, maybe, Monica, like, she's gone and then now, like, with the pandemic, they're all together and maybe she's feeling like, oh, shoot, my daughter's leaving. Maybe she's feeling some sort of guilt.
Mm-hmm. And then Riley throws like major shade at her mother and basically saying she's stupid. Major shade, Riley's like, look, I can handle my own studies. You're not the brightest bulb.
She did say that.
She's like, look, you have street smarts. Leave the book smarts to me.
Mm-hmm.
You sound off on that. I'm like, entitlement? Excuse me, who are you talking to?
I mean, I feel like the last 3 episodes, we've just talked about getting Riley ready for college. I'm bored. Just send her off. We've all gone to college. You'll fall on your ass and you'll pick yourself back up. Like, why is this a storyline where it's like, we're going to get her a Porsche and then we're going to da-da-da. And like, I just felt like they're just dragging it on. Like, I'm really bored. I'm like, Kandi, what else is going on? Any fights with Todd? Any fights with Mama Joyce? Like, we don't really care about Riley. Like, I mean that in the nicest way possible. Like, we're done with that storyline.
Right. No, you hit the nail on the head, Amir. Kandi has no other storyline. So she has to inflate this thing and fluff it up as much as possible and be dramatic about it. But like you said, everybody, goes off to college. It's not that big of a deal. And it certainly is not a storyline. But that's all Kandi has. you know.
That's all she's got. And those terrific boobies. I mean, I'm loving her confessionals with the boobies. They're like bigger.
No, they are. She probably got a boob job. She was, she got something. Well, maybe she gained weight too. Because a lot of times if you gain weight, you might gain it in the, in that area.
She did. Yes, she did.
Mm-hmm. So up next is Cynthia and her monotone sister, Mal.
It's so true. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. They head to yoga, and Kenya Moore meets up with them. Cynthia isn't the most coordinated person. She's flapping all over the place. And then after their session of yoga, they have a discussion. Okay. Cynthia admits she's stressed out about the wedding, and she starts to share details about an argument she had with Mike Hill over the date. Kenya, her friend, quote unquote, breaks the fourth wall and basically tells her, why are you stuck on this date? You're using this date because they're going to film it. That's the date they gave you. I was in shock. I expect nothing less from Kenya. Sound off on that, Amir. What? Huh?
Ugh. First of all, you know how I feel about breaking the fourth wall. Not a fan. I don't like that. I like to be in the show. But I think Mel's face was priceless. She was like, this bitch did not. She was like, gonna cut Kenya later. I mean, I just feel like Kenya Moore hair care. We know she's shady and it's fun. But the problem with her is she doesn't have a line for the shade. I feel like Kandi has a line. Cynthia has a line. Karen Huger has a line. I feel like Kenya's missing that line. So she goes all the way in and she doesn't care if it's her friend. It took her about a year and a half to apologize about ruining the engagement, finally, to Kandi. So I'm just like, girl, why are you doing this? And you could tell Cynthia doesn't usually raise her voice, but when she does, she's very hurt. And I felt like she just should have stopped. She just kept going. I was just, girl, stop. It's just not nice.
I know. Here's my thing. And I'm no big Kenya Moore fan. I'll say it, everybody, the teacups know that. I don't hide and mince words and pretend I'm neutral. I'm no Kenya Moore fan, but she did have a point though. Okay. Cynthia, she did. It was like, girl, why are you so stuck on this date? And clearly she was stuck on it because the producer said, here's the date. Here's the perimeters. Here's the date. And if you can get it done on this date, we might film. So that was clearly an objective because if they film the wedding, that's a little bit of bonus money. That's not normal filming money. I understand she was trying to look out for her coin to pay the bills for this big elaborate wedding. But Cynthia, girl, I just wanted to hit over the damn head. We in a pandemic.
I'm like, girl, you're talking about having 250 people at a pandemic, and we know that we know people like Funky Davino went and loved it and said it was safe and all that. But at the end of the day, when they were talking about planning this, it was in the thick of things. So I was just it just felt kind of tone deaf to me. And I felt like Mike Hill wanted to tell her to effing stop. And, he closed the camera when they were having that fight in the car and he was kind of done, but he doesn't know how to tell her. And I think she made these door knocker earrings with the 10, 20, girl, just let it go. Nobody's going to buy those ugly earrings. No. Just you gotta let it go. Nobody's gonna buy those door knockers and wear them around. And the whole hashtag chill and it's starting to feel very produced and it's starting to feel very Kim Zolciak, where everything is about fit, fab, fun. Everything's about promotion and product placement, and it starts to lose that reality truth of the matter. And I don't know. It annoys me as a viewer to see that.
Listen, we're not gonna sit up here and act like Kenya doesn't have some sort of mental health issue going on, because clearly the way she treats people, she's admitted to it. She does, but she did have a point. I'll give her that. Kudos to Kenya. She had a point. Cynthia's making a complete fool of herself at this point. You are 50 plus years old. This is not your first wedding. It's not your first rodeo ride, girl. Let it go. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. And Monica, I think who could have delivered this better is my favorite, Nene Leakes. I think Nene could have delivered this to Cynthia in the right way. Could have been like, girl, it's going to look bad. I've been in this limelight a lot longer than you have. Just don't do this.
to have the wedding, but like have it with 30, 40 people. Like what would have been wrong? We'll get to this, but Porsha's like surprise party. What if they just took that model and kind of added maybe 20 more people, and that was Cynthia's wedding, and it would be beautiful, and you could have flowers, and you could have really amazing food, and I think people would have had a great time without jeopardizing anyone's health and without upsetting Mike Hill and all of that. Like I just feel like we know he loves her. Like I was DMing with Mike, I know he loves her, but it's not the right way to go about it. And again, Kenya's right. She said it right, but again, her delivery is piss poor, but she's right.
Look, you know what I want for Christmas this year? I want rights to your DMs, because you DM with everybody. Goodness gracious. Who do you not DM with?
I just slide on in and I hope for the best, and then they respond and we go from there.
So what did he say? He says, I mean, we know just give us a little snippet. We don't want to violate anything. What did Mike say in your DM?
Sure. It was just kind of mean. It was a while ago. It was before the show premiered, and we were DMing, and I was basically texting him, and I was like, I love that you're so in awe of Cynthia, and he was like, yeah, I love her, and but he said it, he's like, it's hard to be on a show, and it is, and the fact of the matter is, it's hard, and no one's going to be shocked to hear that. But I just love that he always keeps it real. He's always very authentic, and he's like, what's the, like, even in the past episodes with this season, he was like, what's the deal with the date? Like, is it about the date or is it about me? And I think a lot of women get caught up. I used to love bridezillas. I've planned weddings. A lot of brides get caught up in the day and all of that, and they forget about the man. And I'm like, you realize that when the guests go home, when the dress has been steamed and packed, to no longer be worn, you have to live with this man. So I didn't understand why she's going in so hard about this date if it's not production, like
exactly.
Just feel
come on. So Felicia says, according to Cynthia on Speak On It, she said that Kandi came up with the date. Oh, please. Both Kandi and Cynthia are liars, right? We saw that in the season where they snuck Kenya to Cynthia's Seagram's party. They both lie. They lie like rugs too. Thank you, Marcella, for the super chat. Kenya can't keep a man syndrome. Speak on it.
Maybe it's time for her to move on to women. I mean, she loves LaToya, and I feel like they would be a fire couple. They can share clothes. Yeah. I'm not mad at it. So maybe maybe it's time to move on. And listen, Mark Daly was, I think, I don't know him, but based on watching him on the show, he seems like a nightmare of a person. So I don't want, even though I don't love Kenya, I don't want her to be with someone like that. He's just, he's so
he was just matching Kenya's energy. We don't know, off camera what she was bringing. Well, we do know what Kenya's like. So he was just meeting her right where she was at. But she thought he would keep it off camera. And he goes, nah.
He's like, nah, honey, I'm too advanced.
I'm bringing it to the camera. So that was, they don't even film. They didn't even film the wedding. Yeah, we all know that now, right? They didn't even film the wedding because it was just too. See, that's the thing. After, the news were making a big deal. Well, not a big deal. I mean, rightfully so. But after, all these reports were coming out about people getting extremely sick, the numbers kept rising and rising. Why would they film it? That's a liability. It's a legal liability.
It is.
To put the insurance on that wedding, Bravo probably had to pay millions just to ensure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The camera people and everyone. Yeah.
And another thing, Monica, is a lot of people that were going to the wedding probably didn't want to be because a lot of housewives went, a lot of people were kind of not posting about it. And so maybe some people didn't want to kind of get under fire for going to this wedding during a pandemic, because we know how the fans kind of turn on a lot of celebrities. And even now there's all these scandals with gay men having a house in Mexico. People don't want their celebrities to be out and about during the height of a pandemic. So maybe Bravo's trying to also kind of cover their ass, because they're like, we don't want to, have all these housewives and all these celebrities out and about during a pandemic. So that was a smart choice. I thought that was very surprisingly not tone deaf for Bravo, because they can be quite tone deaf.
Well, they couldn't afford, the insurance was just ridiculous. When they came back and said, here's what we're going to charge you guys to insure this wedding, because people get sick, they lose their jobs, and they could die, literally, not be with their families. It was like, nah, the risk isn't worth it. So after their argument gets real heated, because Cynthia gets really loud and very, very excited, heated, Kenya tries to calm the situation down by admitting that she was intentionally trying to ruin Cynthia's engagement. Remember that?
That was
how
so
low
bad.
can you go? Ooh.
That was so bad. And this is why I love Kandi. And even though this season's kind of a dud, I love that Candy's still on there, even though her storyline's not that deep. I like her because she was like, no, you're not getting away with this. Like, she held her accountable last season and was like, no. Like, you did something shady and you're not going to pretend, I just told you. And then you told her. Like, she held her accountable. I like that.
Exactly. Someone in the chat says, no, they didn't want the financial liability for their workers. Right. It's a risk. I totally agree. Thank you, Calandra, for the super chat. Hey, fellow teacups. Hey, Monica, I appreciate your commentary as it has so many different points of view. Why, thank you. Thank you, my love.
We're not biased and we're not paid by any of the housewives, honey. So we can speak on it.
Well, I'm biased, but I'm not paid.
Exactly. Okay, that's better. How about that? No, I'm quite biased too. I mean, this season has it's episode 4, and I feel like we've only watched one episode because it's so boring. And I think Bravo. This is kind of my disclaimer to Bravo. When you remove an OG housewife, don't pretend your season after that is going to be perfect, because we need those groundings. We need the Nene Leakes. We need the Bethany's. We need the Tamra Judge. The show is not going to move on.
No. And you just can't get rid of those people and expect to bring in all these new, younger people and start fresh. No. We need the storyline from season 1 all the way. We need to see it all the way through. We really do. I mean, the show, there's a weird energy and vibe. Like I said, like Drake said, no new faces. I like the old people.
Me too. I mean, we watch it. We want to see the chemistry. And it's funny because I don't really like Kenya usually, but she's actually the most interesting this season because her and LaToya's friendship, it's actually fun and it's light. And, Marlo, it's the people that I didn't really vibe with before, I'm kind of loving now. Because Cynthia, Kandi, it's boring. Cynthia, I don't care if you get married. We already know you get married. It's just, their stories, they didn't come out soon enough. So we already know she got married. So it's not interesting to watch the behind the scenes. I really just don't care. Right.
Absolutely. Okay. So moving on, they do a fake makeup or whatever, and Kenya swears that she's a genuine friend. Sure, Jan. So Kenya wants to throw a surprise engagement party for Cynthia, and she meets up with Kandi for lunch, and they go over, some details. She's asking Kandi if she can send out invitation. Kandi wonders if Kenya's worried that if the invites come from her, people won't bother to show up.
That was my favorite. That was good.
Oh yeah. Will Porsha and Marlo make the invite list? So they talk about that. And speaking of Porsha, Kenya can't believe Porsha didn't wear a mask while protesting. Oh boy, here we go. As if she really cares.
I didn't like that. You went to New York, girl, during the height of the pandemic. You got on a plane. So this girl is literally following in the footsteps of her grandfather. And you also said, she got arrested again. She must be doing something wrong. I mean, to me, that felt like all lives matter comment.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's you know what? Kenya has no storyline either. Mark is refusing to film. He wants nothing to do with her. Her Rolodex of men have dried up at this point because she doesn't pay on time. If you're going to hire men, you have to pay on time. So, her options are few and short in between. And Kenya is just grasping at straws to attack anyone. And the sad part is, Porsha is the star of this. She's like the MVP of this season, I would say. And I haven't even watched the whole thing with her Black Lives Matter, activism.
She is. And Bravo did a good job, Monica, of making it kind of like a documentary. The first episode I thought was really beautiful. It was a lot of Porsha's own footage. They did did a good job with that. I was impressed.
Totally did a good job. If it weren't for Porsha, what would they have? That's the only thing that saved the season for me. I'm only really watching because of her.
Agreed.
And then they're going to throw her under the bus by, showing that her face in the stripper's crotch or something. It's just too much.
Oh God, I know that's coming. So, listen, I'm looking forward to a little bit of drama that's not, and listen, I love the BLM movement and I'm such a fan of it, but I just feel like I could be wrong, but it seems like Portia's the one kind of spearheading that movement and the rest of the ladies are kind of like, good for you, let's move on. Mm-hmm. So the energy just feels like Portia's not getting the respect she deserves for what she's done. So part of me is like, let's move on then, because you're not getting the respect you deserve. So let's move the story along. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Bravo's like trying to kind of kick a dead horse. And it's like, the ladies have moved on from that. Like they celebrated her. And I think that it's time to move on from that because it seems like they're not respecting Porsha, but I could be wrong. But that's just kind of my vibe.
I get the same vibe too. Kenya definitely is not here for Porsha. She is not here for Porsha and her Black lives. She just wants to hate on her. And she's seething with jealousy. It's coming out of her pores, literally. Kandi, on the other hand, I think she's jealous too, but she can contain it a little better. And, she wants to act like on the surface she's showing support, but behind the scenes, she's giggling with Kenya. She's enjoying the snide remarks and the jokes too. Let's check on our folks. We have a lot of people in the chat and we need to check on everyone and see how they're doing. All right. Let's play this roll call song.
Roll call, we got a mirror in the building. DJ Richie, Monique, Buffie, and Monica.
It's the roll call, it's the roll call. Tune in and let us know what's up with y'all. We wanna hear what you gotta say. Who's on live with a mirror? DJ Richie, Monique, Buffie, and Monica today. It's the roll call, it's the roll call. Tune in and let us know what's up with y'all. We wanna hear what you gotta say. Who's on live with a mirror? DJ Richie, Monique, Buffie, and Monica today. You on live with us right now, tap in. Drop an emoji if you know you bout that action. Gotta go get it, ain't no time for relaxing. My family gotta eat, so I'm bringing all them racks in. She wanna get managed.
All right.
Monica, I love that you have Potomac's photo. It's just like,
that's what's relevant. They're keeping the franchise afloat. Why should I change the photo?
It's amazing.
They're keeping the franchise afloat. Andy Cohen should be bowing down to those ladies in Potomac, okay? I'm still not over it. All right. So we have Rachel. Let's see who's on the check-in. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Shaw. The people want to know. What up, boo? That's my boo. Ashley, Heidi Black, Henrietta, Sephora, Thick Girl 40, Wendelin. Hey, Wendelin. TLW, Wheezy Wheeze, Alex Sewell, Fox Counselor, Jaja, Shalana, One Tall Girl, Miss Diva, Dita, hey Dita, Dora Honda, Darlene, Darren Hood, okay. Well, Calandra Chambers. Schoolboy, she's a Teacup affiliate. Hey, Schoolboy. XER, Tiana, Suzette, L. Woods, all of the mods. I see y'all on here. Sacred Beauty, Monique Allen, Tamara Augustin, Rachel. Hey, Rachel. Emily Bott. Welcome, everyone. It's so many of y'all on here. Thank you for joining us. You could be anywhere, but you're here with us, and we appreciate you.
We do.
We do. All right. So moving on to this episode, Kenya wants to throw that party, and Kandi's throwing shade and rolling her eyes all over the place. Let's move on to Drew's house. Okay. They leave the kids with her mom, Pastor Jeanette, to go to an outdoor marriage counseling session. Jeanette hopes the pair can get on the same page and find good compromise. So therapist Love McPherson shows up to help. Drew and Ralph head outside And they sit down and they have this chat. Drew says she wants peaceful home and wants Ralph to step up and show her son Josiah how to be a man. She also wants Ralph to be more transparent. Okay. Ralph, on the other hand, he's like, child, I just want some respect and sex.
I love when he said that. I almost fell out of my chair. Sex and respect.
Spread it low and wide. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's dive into that. You know, what do you think of Drew? What do you think of her marriage problem?
Listen, I didn't really like Drew until I realized she was in Step Up and she can sing, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at that clip and she was like, I remember her. I remember her being like, I remember thinking, why isn't she the star? And Jenna Dewan is becoming the star. So I love Drew now. I'm like such a fan. She looked beautiful on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't like her at first, but I kind of like her. I don't like Ralph. And I think that the reason I say that is not because of anything he said. It's because I hate when couples come on reality TV to fix their marriage. It's very stupid and it's never going to work. So that's what annoys me. It's like they obviously had issues before and they're like, let's do a reality show to kind of work through it. It's like, really? Like, how is that smart?
And that's probably what got him on the show, right? That the marriage problems and being transparent. It's just too hot and heavy too fast for me. You know, give me one season of like a cohesive marriage and then start fighting season 2. It's just too much. I don't even, it's like someone, knocking on your door and moving in. Or you go on a first date and they want to just move in with you. Let's gradually get into this broken marriage thing. We don't know you yet. Introduce us to yourself. Hey, Drew. Hey, Ralph. Who are you? It's too much for me. Too bad.
Exactly. Well, it seems like that's the new formula, Monica. It's to come in very aggressively, like the way Dr. Wendy did, the way that Drew is doing. It's to come in all guns blazing. And the problem with that is that then that dies out. It's kind of like the Kim Fields effect. You come in, you're aggressive, you're like in everyone's face. And then people are like, you're a bit off-putting. Like, we need a break. Like, go away.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I want to bring Teacup affiliate on, Schoolboy. Hey, Schoolboy.
Hey,
hello.
There? Hey. Hi. What are your thoughts on Drew and Ralph?
Ralph's a dick.
He's a what?
He's a dick. He's an insensitive dick. He's an asshole. Sorry. I mean, come on. You told your wife you want her. Ain't nobody. I'm not married, but ain't nobody with kids having sex 3 times a week.
Nope.
Like, you literally have to like not work, have a nanny, and you probably still wouldn't even really be able to have the time to. I mean, nobody does that. That's not. Like,
Good point. Good point. I agree.
I think he just has emotional issues with his mom, and then he thinks that like she's not gonna love him enough like his mom, or she's gonna abandon him, and then she's got daddy issues. That's just a hot mess, that whole marriage. And then the mama all up in the Kool-Aid.
Too much.
She's way too involved, and she's doing what a therapist does, but she's doing it as a pastor. She's kind of pasteurizing them. She's coming in and going, I'm going to do a sermon that's directed right to you, but then I'm going to pretend like it's not. I was like, what is happening?
I wanted to address this really quick. Fox counselor says mental and emotional abuse is not okay, regardless of how you feel about a person. I totally agree. I don't think Kenya should mentally and emotionally abuse these men anymore. She needs to stop.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what her storyline is. Like, she got on my nerves last night.
Yep. What's her storyline, right? Schoolboy, like, what I don't understand is that you root for Kenya and then she turns on you. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I just don't get that. And it's hard as a viewer. I like her. We know her story about her mom. I feel sorry for her. I love Brooklyn. But then I'm like, then you turn on people like Cynthia, who really is just kind of just trying to slide through every season and kind of make it through. She's not trying to make waves. She's trying to get her paycheck, and that's it.
And I think Cynthia's kind of like, she knew this was her last season. So she really wanted that wedding on the show. And then when she realized like it was not going to happen, that's when she was just like really pissed off, because it was like, this is going to be my bang to go out the door, because I know I'm not coming back next season.
Well, the thing about Kenya is that you just can't trust her.
Mm-hmm.
And did y'all peep when Cynthia and her daughter Noelle did that special, which happened last Sunday, which they didn't show a new episode. It was just this Cynthia and Noelle doing their special. I don't even know why. It's a waste of time and production. But I did notice when Kenya's name came up, Noelle kind of rolled her eyes, and you could see she really doesn't. She's not there for Kenya. She's not. But when Nini's name came up, she just piped up and her eyes got big. She likes Nini. Kenya is just not a good friend. She's broken. She's broken. Hurt people, and that is the definition of Kenya to a T. I want to add Plez, who's another Teacup affiliate. I want her to join the discussion because she knows. Hey, sweetheart.
Hey,
let's talk about Kenya. We've covered Cynthia and her super spreader wedding and that whole scene at the yoga shop, and Kenya going off on her, trying to embarrass her.
I'm different from you, Monica. I actually have been a Kenya Moore fan since day one. And it's like Amir said, because of her background and her story, I really want to root for Kenya. But the angle that she's taking with Cynthia and Porsha are really rubbing me the wrong way this season. I do have a bottom to my petty, and I want Kenya to have a bottom to her petty too. It's just she is the definition of a self-sabotager, right? She gets friends and she gets people who like her personality, and then she bashes them and betrays them. And at this point, I'm starting to think it's not even like controllable. It's like she's doing it because she's so used to being passive aggressive with everybody to defend herself and protect her heart. She does it with the people who care about her. The stuff, it's good to give your friends a reality check like she was doing last season with the winery. But there's a way you do it. There's a tone that you take, and you don't do it in front of other people to the point where you embarrass your friend. And so that's how I feel with this wedding too. There was a way to say, Mike is right. You can do an intimate wedding and have your big bash later. You can do an intimate wedding on 10/10/2020 to keep your date, and then do something later. But Kenya just always manages to take it one step too far for me.
You hit the nail on the head when you said there's no bottom for her. There really isn't. There is no bottom when it comes to Kenya Moore's petty. And that's when she crosses a line and goes too far. You can't call Cynthia your friend, quote unquote, and constantly last season she was putting down her wine business. Oh, you're not educated on wine. And she gets a kick out of embarrassing her. Like, it's funny. It's weird. Yeah, kind of sick. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. All right, y'all, moving on. So Portia's sister, Lauren, wants to celebrate Portia's activism, and she wants to throw her a party. So she calls Cynthia, and she's like, hey, I'm, organizing this party. You're invited. Cynthia's like, well, can Kenya ride with me? And she's like, no, ma'am. She's not invited. She's not on the list. What did y'all think of that? I was happy, by the way, though. I thought Lauren was smart because Kenya's not here for Porsha and what she's doing. So why even, pretend? Sound off on that, Amir. Right. What do you think?
I mean, I have a lot to say about that. I think that with Kenya, it's like she knows that she was going to say some mess. So, don't try to go. And I know that Cynthia was trying to get Kenya to go. That's where I think that Kenya might be right with production knowing something. Because I felt like Cynthia knew that Lauren was not wanting Kenya to come and kind of kept pushing it. And then when they did the FaceTime, Cynthia seemed a little she was powdering her nose and seemed kind of excited that she was delivering this news to Kenya. Like, you ain't coming to the party anymore. I'm powdering my nose. That felt kind of suspicious to me.
Yes, setup. Yeah, production setup. Sound off on that, schoolboy. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, that was definitely a production setup. I'm like, Amir, that was because she immediately said, y'all knew about this? And then of course she broke the fourth wall. She said, well, y'all knew about this? Oh, no, we didn't. BS. Y'all knew, but y'all was trying to get, the way y'all did it was tacky and it fell through. And so she was just like, well, somebody's gonna pay for my makeup. You know, she ushers herself off. But I'm just like, you and Porsha have not been, first of all, it was already rocky anyways. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I think I saw a lot of people tweeting last night that it's probably because her and Nene made back up. And however Nene swings, that's usually the way Porsha swings.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to address this comment by Tiana, non-basic. First of all, I don't hate anyone. That's not even a word in my vocabulary. It's ridiculous. Like, no grown-up uses the word hate if they're mentally healthy. I dislike Kenya, and I have personal reasons why. A lot of people don't know. I used to be a big Kenya supporter when she first came on the show. It was big time. And she and I used to communicate. We would DM each other. I mean, not just friendly. She would share things with me, private things. And I was rooting for her up until one day she just snapped and changed on me. Like when a pit bull just snaps, they're a puppy, and then a lot of times they become adults, and it's like, I don't know what happens with them, but they just snap on you. That's what Kenya did. And she cussed me out so nasty on Twitter for no apparent reason, for me doing my job. And then I was done. I hope that explains it for everyone that's wondering why I'm not Team Kenya. But come on, Kenya, being a Kenya fan is taxing on your soul, okay?
She's the Candace of Atlanta.
You gotta be broken. You gotta be broken like her.
No, Candace, it's taxing. The ups and downs, and every time she get a man, then the man comes down. It's like, no, she paid me. It's like, oh damn. You're always getting egg on your face. It's always something, right? Plus, sound off. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it, because everybody wanted to know.
Well, again, people in the comments always kill me because I'm like, are y'all not hearing what we're saying? I clearly just said I'm a Kenya fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say we're all biased because we're not. I am a Kenya fan. And she was right about the wedding. But as Amir said, and I was watching the whole show, Amir has also said, and Monica has said, Kenya was right. We gave Kenya her props. Her delivery, as always, is off. It's piss poor, in the words of Amir. It is horrible. There are ways that you should tell your friends the truth. You should hold them to the fire. But the way Kenya does it is completely counterproductive and unbecoming of someone who calls you a friend. Y'all know y'all wouldn't want a friend like Kenya in these streets, and I like Kenya.
Thank you.
Exactly.
The show. Baby, Kenya Moore hair care coming up and through with them drums will always be classic for me. She
was a good queen. That was good.
Yes,
she's a stunt queen.
She wins the mind game battle every day. And that's why you cannot compare her to Candace. Kenya owns who and what she is on that show. She got drugged by Porsha. She showed up the next season to film. She didn't cry. She didn't go all over social media bashing in people's comments in the fan pages. She knows that she's either loved or hated. And she leaves it at that. She leaves it on the show, or she does her battles with the ladies. That's the difference. Kenya is fine.
You convinced me, Plaz. You convinced me. I said it, and I'm taking it back. You convinced me.
There's no comparison. Yeah.
And when Kenya does her shade, it's not. It is shade. It's not vile the way that Candace is. Candace
That's true.
Way below the belt.
Yes.
You're right. She never said dead wench or anything like that. You're right.
That's true.
Right. Fair enough.
So Spiritual Babe says, Monica, do you think she wanted you to kiss her ass? Absolutely. You see, you can't write the truth. Like, you only have to write pro Kenya Moore stories. And I was doing that for a very long time. But something came up about her paying off Mark Daly's taxes. Radar Online broke the story, and they had the tax records and all this other stuff. And they did a timeline with the dates, and the dates lined up with her paying off his taxes. Then there's the two of them supposedly getting married in St. Lucia, which I've reached out to St. Lucia directly, so that the direct office, and this was like maybe 2 years ago, the direct office where the records for this marriage was supposed to be, and it doesn't exist. Okay. I conned the young lady on the phone. She wasn't supposed to give me. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I conned the young lady on the phone. She wasn't supposed to speak to me about these records, and she let me know that nothing existed under those two names. Did they get married under secret names? Who knows? But not Kenya Moore and not Mark Daly. But that
won't be legal, Monica. If you get married under a fake name, it ain't legal. It's not like checking into a hotel, honey.
It's not legal when you get married in another country.
Thank you. And that was like 2.5 years ago. I was so pissed that my phone.
Is right. Schoolboy said it's a different country as well. You're right.
Yeah, you have to.
I actually paid $50 for that phone call because my cell phone carrier, I guess that's what they charge for international phone calls. So I was pissed. I remember it. So to your question, spiritual babe, like I said, if you can't take something being reported about you that's slightly not positive, and it didn't even come from me. The source was Radar Online. I just re-reported it and I gave Radar Online the credit. And that's when she flipped on me. I mean, she was just disgusting. It was so nasty. It really, really was.
And Monica, it's not your fault
that she brought the fake documents, and then everybody was like, "These are not even real. Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this isn't the right industry if you want no one to talk about you. This is not the right industry. Like, please, I'm not on a reality show, and I get people writing shit about me that's not very positive. You got to grow a thick skin, or you got to get out, because this industry is tough, especially when you're on Bravo. People are going to dissect your life, and that's what it is. That's what you signed up for. And when Kenya then turns around and gives her this, Rosa Parks doll that looks like a re-gift, it's so tacky. It's so tacky.
She did that to get a moment. I promise you, I felt that she did that to get a moment and a dig in. And when I met Claudia Jordan, I was like, I don't even know how you friends with her.
They're both like the same.
They are.
One.
They are. They're the same.
They're both the same.
Yep, I was DMing with Claudia. We were talking about her winery or her wine business. And then she kind of turned on me. She's like, why do you want to discuss that? And I'm like, I'm trying to give you some promotion, honey. Much needed promotion. Ain't nobody know where your wine is anyway.
I surely didn't know she had one until you just said it.
Amir, I gotta get in my DMs, man. You gotta give me a transcript of those DMs. Amir talks to everybody. It is too funny. Too funny. So Lauren calls Kandi, and Kandi is having lunch with Marlo and LaToya. Cynthia immediately calls Kenya to discuss the wedding list. She spent hours writing her vows and repeating them, blah, blah, blah. Then she extends the invite to Porsha's party. Kenya commits to coming briefly, right? So back at Drew's house, things have taken a bad turn. Ralph's dad had a heart attack and passed away. Ugh. Rest, condolences to Ralph and his family. They're going to a funeral despite COVID. In the past, Ralph's dad was limited and didn't always make it to his games. That was kind of, that was like a dark little moment there, right?
I missed that, y'all, because I fast forwarded Drew's scene. Not bad. I am so sorry.
It was brief. It wasn't like that long though. It was like it was like a snippet. It really wasn't
it was short.
He triggers me. The minute I saw Ralph, I was like, fast forward. Sorry. I apologize to everyone.
Yeah. And then there's that brief moment where everybody's getting ready to go to Porsha's party. And Porsha talks about her relationship with Dennis being over. What else is new? They make up and break up every 5 seconds, right?
She's still accepting the gifts. She says she's accepting the gifts, He says they're co-parent gifts. I didn't know that came out. I didn't know that.
Is that a thing?
Oh my goodness. So
I've heard of a BJ gift, honey, but no co-parenting gifts.
Yes. She says she won't. He knows she won't accept them if he doesn't say they're co-parenting gifts. So she takes them as long as they say co-parenting.
Okay. They're nice. They might not all be real, but they're nice.
Right, exactly. So Kenya's getting ready for a party. She's in the mirror getting ready. And she gets the phone call. She's not invited. And Lauren posted on Instagram.
Andy Cohen's calling. I'm fired. It's like, bro.
Oh my God. So apparently Lauren posted on Instagram that she rescinded the invite 2 hours after the initial invite.
Ooh. The petty.
I believe Lauren. I believe her. She has nothing in the game. I believe her.
Mm-hmm. And then she breaks the fourth wall and she's like, did y'all know about this? She got to pay for my hair and makeup. Oh, pray for Kenya, y'all.
Makeup was not even done yet. Like her hair wasn't even done yet.
You can still see them craters in her skin. I mean, you could. I didn't leave that lady alone.
Yeah, I was shocked. Again, I've been a fan. Maybe I've had on my blindest child because everybody used to make jokes and talk about and say she had bad skin. And I never saw it. But last night.
Ooh.
I've seen her in real life. Yes, she does. Her and Tyra Banks have bad skin.
Oh.
Maybe from all that makeup we used to wear. But her skin, she has really bad skin.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is off topic, Monica, but do y'all remember when Tyra pretended to have rabies on her show? Don't remember that.
No.
I'm gonna send you the clip, Monica. It's gonna make your day. It's
okay.
Please, Tyra used to do the most on that show.
Please do. Please do. So over at Porsha's house, Lauren has, decorated and everything in the backyard, and the girls come in, and it's all these new faces. I can't take it. It's too many. They're too young. And they're too culturally diversified for me to fit into that Atlanta group. They just don't.
Yes.
They don't.
Yes. They're more love and hip hop. That's the vibe I get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was completely confused by those ladies. I was like, where's Shamia? The friend we do know.
Exactly. Right.
Love
exactly.
Is it true? Because I heard that Shamia's husband don't really care for her being on that show because of his business or whatever. He's like, no, you need to, stay away from all that. So I don't know if that's like she only comes on certain scenes because he's saying that or what they got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I could see it.
That's what she told me. I was messaging with her and I asked her why she's not a main housewife. And she said her husband wants her to they have very strong gender roles. Like he makes the money, she takes care of the kids. So I think they have those strong gender roles in their relationship. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, if it works for them, she's happy about it.
Yeah, so Miss LaToya, can we get into her and her comments to Phelan about, marrying a sugar daddy? I was just like, girl, you trying too hard. It's too much, too fast.
She gets on my damn nerves. Where did they get her from? Where did they get her from?
She's a weird she's a weird personality mix of like, everybody keeps saying she's Kenya on steroids, but to me, she's Kenya and Marlo mixed together. Because Marlo always asks these weird questions, random questions that no one else has the audacity to ask to me.
Yeah, there's something about LaToya's delivery that reminds me of a drug addict. And I'm not calling her a drug addict, okay? So don't beat me up in the chat. I'm not calling her that. But unfortunately, I do know some functioning addicts. Unfortunately, I've seen them. Some of them are my, and family members or friends. And the delivery is so slow. It's like a slow delivery. And the look, this glassy look in her eye, it's just weird. There's something about LaToya's delivery that I'm not feeling. There's something about her whole spirit I'm not feeling. Like maybe like a functioning drunk. I don't know what it is, y'all. That's just my opinion. I'm not calling this girl. I'm not saying she's on anything. I don't know. I just don't like it. Something about her spirit to me is off-putting.
Interesting.
She's thirsty.
I might be in the minority. I like her. I really like her. I don't know why. I feel like she brings out a really positive side of Kenya. Kenya's fun and kind of seems light and not aggressive. Like when they're together, I get a good vibe from Kenya when they're together. But I think LaToya on her own is doing too much.
Plaz, what are your thoughts?
I think you see a light from Kenya because she met somebody who's her equal. They both crazy as hell and evil. Like that's why Kenya is like, "Oh, girl, I like you. You are bolder than I am. I mean, you can't do anything but respect."
Right?
You know, as much as we used to laugh about Marlo allegedly having sugar daddies, this girl on Front Street is like, so you buried them because you just wanted to have somebody who would die and give you all their money. I'm like, like who says that in
No one
polite
says that.
conversation?
Yeah. Is it a Canadian
The girl took it well.
thing? She did.
But it's also because she's a YouTube personality. And that's why it's kind of like when they go and get people who are already actresses or already in a productive, you know, a production style type lifestyle, to me, it's like she's coming in so hot because she, like, that's the stamp she's trying to make. She wants to play that role. She wants to take over and be known as the more aggressive or whatever Kenya Moore. Like she's trying
The
to take
villain. She wants to be the number one villain. It would, to me, when she talks, it's like she's doing a YouTube prank or something. It's not authentic.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, even the whole like online dating pictures, like from the last episode, it felt very like staged. Like I'm gonna take a picture of your ass and I'm gonna be flirtatious. Yeah, it seems a bit staged. That's true.
And when she talked about dating when you're separated, it's like she wants to say the things that are most provocative that she can to give people something to talk about and debate.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And then remember when she talked about Horner?
Her marriage is toxic. It's very, very toxic. Like it got so bad they had to stop production. They were fighting that bad. Like it's
Yeah. So Tanya finally brings Porsha home to her surprise party, and she's so touched, and she gives a rousing speech and appreciates her friends for supporting her. The energy is good, I guess. Yeah. So that pretty much concludes and wraps up the episode. Now, comment in the chat. Do you feel Kenya Moore should have been disinvited? Do you think she should have been there? Let us know what you think. You know, I personally think it was the right call because genuinely Kenya's not there for Porsha and her efforts on the front line. So she just needs, and no one needs that negative energy around, making snide remarks, rolling her eyes. No, just keep it there. Amir, what are your thoughts?
Well, I thought the party was sweet and all that, but what kind of caught me off guard was her kind of connection with this guy. Did y'all notice that when Porsha came in, she looked at some good-looking guy in the corner and was like, "Not you." I was like, had they dated? Like, what was that?
I think that was the chef.
Oh, okay. I thought it seemed like they had some chemistry or something. Maybe I was wrong.
I was just thinking that was her private chef, and she was like, "All of y'all knew, you know, and held this secret from me." That's what I was thinking. I just kind of wish they hadn't invited Kenya in the first place. Like you already knew if you're gonna rescind it 2 hours later, you already knew not to really invite her in the first place. Like you knew that they didn't have the best relationship. Rescinding it for me was just declasse. But
plus they didn't invite her. Cynthia kind of forced them. Was like, "Can I bring a +1? Can I bring her? Can I bring her?" Remember?
Yeah. To me, you say no then, right? You say no, you know the history with Porsha and Kenya, don't do it. But you know, in true Kenya Moore fashion, she proved why she didn't need to be invited in the first place. So ultimately it was absolutely the best decision because she was going way too hard afterwards. You know, again, she's a wounded child. Her feelings were hurt. And she was embarrassed, and she was going to let it be known what she felt, her real feelings after that. And I was just like, bad look, Kenya.
Very bad look.
Oh boy, should Kenya Moore have been disinvited? Did Lauren make
He
the
should
right
have never
call?
been invited in the first damn play. They know they don't get along. And you already know Kenya was gloating once Nene got off the show. So you know Porsha and Nene is cool. So you know anything that one feels, the other one's gonna feel, and it wasn't even, they never had a good relationship from jump. So I mean, I would have never invited her, but that seemed really like production based. Like, hey, do this so we can get this scene of her getting pissed off, and so we can get this on the other end. Because I mean, what does Kenya have? I kept sitting there the entire episode. I'm like, why is she here? Mark's not here. He don't care. I don't even know where he's at. Like, why is she here? But she does have a fan base. That's probably what keeps her there. Like, if you're gonna get rid of Nene, you gotta keep one that's got a big enough fan base besides Kandi, and Kandi really don't need to be there either.
True. Yeah, and Kandi and the Afro Puffs. Oh, girl, come on now, please. Oh, goodness. And then the flat sandals. I just, I can't. It's too much. Maybe they should cancel the show. It's just not the same without Nene. Kenya has no storyline. She's manless, the pothole face. It's just too much for me. I can't do it.
They got to cancel this in Orange County. And this.
Yes. Yeah, it's a wrap for Orange County. I mean, I don't watch Orange County. I see a few clips here and there, and I hear people DM me about it. Did you see Drunken Bronwyn? And then we write stories about it on the blog. Bronwyn making fun of her daughter's eating disorder. Bronwyn assaulting her husband. Who cares? Who is Bronwyn? I don't like all these new people, you know? So yeah, definitely Atlanta is on the outs for me. OC is on the outs. Real Housewives of Potomac. That's it. That's where it's at, you know? Maybe they can offer Monique $2 million to come back. I don't know. I don't even know if she would take that. I don't know if she would take it. You know,
it's probably not even worth the mental anguish.
No, it's not. It's not worth it.
It ain't even gonna be worth it. I mean, because it's just like you look at the shows, and I mean, I want them to go to some other cities. Why can't y'all go to like Chicago? Why can't y'all go to the state of Washington? Go somewhere where we don't see all the time. Like, y'all pick the same daggone cities. And Salt Lake, I didn't forgot about them. My mind is gone. I don't even remember when they come on.
Yeah, Houston would be a good one. Houston would be a good one.
Like they tried that Married to Madison Houston. It didn't work out because it didn't have Mariah's touch. It didn't have Mariah's touch, so that failed. Married to Madison LA, that also failed. I don't know. Maybe Housewives are on the out. Maybe we want more 90 Day Fiance type shows on Bravo. I don't know.
What about Real Housewives of Husbands? Like the ones that just stay home and the wives work and they're okay with being dad moms. Or hey, give us an LGBTQ version. I'm here for it. Just give us something else that's different.
Well, apparently they're doing that, Schoolboy.
Really?
Perez was pitching it, and apparently he's suing Andy Cohen for taking his idea where he wants to do like rich house husbands of Hollywood, kind of like on Bravo. So
Andy loves stealing people's shit, don't he?
Hey, y'all, I just wanted to say, Teacups, give us a round of applause. Woo! We made it. Wendy Williams mentioned us today and the interview that I did with Monique Samuels. I mean, that was big. I was happy.
It was big. Congratulations, Monica.
I was like, oh, Wendy.
That was really, really big. All right, so let me add some people to the chat. CC Freak. Hey, darling. Hey.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm all right. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
All right, this Kenya thing, like my issue with this whole uninviting thing, first of all, she's going to take it out on Porsha when Porsha didn't even know a party was coming for her. So I don't even like that already. And I'm just like, see, that just goes, you reaching for a moment. So I'm already not here for Kenya just because of that. And LaToya, yeah, she can go. She just doing a little bit too much for a first impression. So I'm not really feeling her either.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, I agree with you. All right, love.
But y'all have a good one. That was just my little cute little.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, y'all too.
Bye. Bye. All right. Let me see who has their camera on. Carolina. Hey, love. You're on mute. You got to turn your camera on. There you go.
Hey.
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 Hi.
Hi.
I'm just kind of over the whole Atlanta a little bit at the moment. I think that they're all getting a bit tired. Cynthia, I used to like her when she started first stepping out of Nene's shadow, but I don't like her anymore. I think she's really boring, and I don't really trust Mike. I don't really like her and Mike together. I don't know what it is about him. There's just something about him that I don't really feel. But this whole wedding thing, it's like, if I'm going to get married to somebody, it means I love that person. I want to spend my life with them. No pandemic ain't stopping me from having a ceremony, whether it's just the two of us and a friend to witness it. You don't need all of the smoke and mirrors, really. So I think she's dead wrong for that. You know, if you love the man and you want to be with him, then it's the marriage, not the actual wedding day that counts. So yeah, I'm just kind of over Cynthia a little bit. I'm not really feeling her. Kenya, I've always liked Kenya. I kind of not connect with, but I see her pain. I think she needs the right support to kind of deal with her childhood issues and her abandonment issues. And she needs some love. She needs a man in her life that's going to respect her and not to go through all of that mess. But I think she needs to kind of find a little bit more of self-respect first before she can find it. Latoya, she's going to be messy, but I like her. I think she's quite fun. I think she says things without thinking. She just says whatever's on her mind, whereas everyone else is trying to play a role and trying to please the cameras. She's just come in there a hot mess. She's probably on some medication or something. I don't think it's more like a drug addict, but sometimes when you're on medication, it can make you a bit slow like that. But I think she's a fun character and she can bring a bit of fun to the cast because they're all a bit boring to me, to be totally honest. That's how I feel.
Yeah, definitely a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Atlanta used to be the #1 housewives show. I definitely feel they missed the mark by letting Nene go. You know, Andy bit off his nose to spare his, to spite his face, and made it too personal. And then Nene, has done what she's done and said what she said. And can we even go back from here? I mean, I don't know. They should just scrap the whole show.
I don't think we can go back. I think it's, in terms of like the whole of the Housewives series at the moment, it reminds me, it's starting to get a little bit Love and Hip Hop. It just, when I say that, I mean that with Love and Hip Hop, I used to like it, but then when you get to know the characters more, they all have certain issues. Some of them are on drugs, some of them have got mental issues. And actually, if you're an employee, no matter what environment you're in, you have a duty of care to the people that you employ. And there should be a team that are supporting people's emotional and mental well-being. And they're failing massively at Bravo with the Housewives, because as time's gone on, people are facing more and more issues, and more publicity can, the attacks from social media, all these things, personal issues in your life, being in the spotlight are hard to deal with. And the team at Bravo for the Housewives are not taking care of them. Look at how they did Katie. Katie was having a mental breakdown. She was going through a lot of stuff in Potomac, and they still had her on that show. They should have never had her on that show, knowing what she was going through, So it's getting like that for all of the Housewives at the moment, where they've just, the network is forgetting that these are people that are human beings that need support and care. And they're just looking at, well, we need the ratings and we need drama, and they're not actually taking care of people's well-being. So it's kind of like that shared responsibility. You're responsible for your own actions and your own support, but also your employees responsible for you as well. It's a shared responsibility. So yeah,
I agree.
Y'all know one thing that I think, or a couple of things that I think are really messing up the shows now when we think about when they first came on versus now. I think the overproduction, like the games that production play, the production leaks, and social media are really having a bad effect on these shows. Because think about it, like with RHOP, we knew about the fight. We saw it play out. We knew charges were filed. We knew everything that eventually aired already. We knew the cases were thrown out. And so then to have to watch it back slowly over so many episodes, it's like, this is boring. We know, we've been there, because everything is so instant right now. The same thing is happening with RHO or with Atlanta. Everybody wants to get to Strippergate, but we know Strippergate doesn't happen until the end of filming. So we likely won't get to Strippergate until like episode 14, 15, 16 or something. And so now it's like boring, 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 boring. When Strippergate, you know? So I think production like shot themselves in the foot because they leak too much. Too much goes out. I think the ladies kind of in staff need to be under more of stringent gag orders so that so much, you want to entice people to watch, but when everything is already out in these streets, what is there really to watch?
I think it's hard to do because that's why the Kardashians stepped away. It's too hard to try to keep everything in. It's too many social media. It's too many people being off. People ain't got nothing else to do but being people business. I mean, I think reality TV is going to die very, very soon.
I think too that there's too many fake storylines. Now, Mark mistreating Kenya, that was real. Mark's not he was hired, but he's not an actor, right? So he was giving you real reality television. So that was kind of interesting, right? When Mama Joyce was fussing with Tiny Todd, she really cannot stand Todd. So that was real and that was good. When Mama Joyce was going after Carmen and saying she would drag her up the street like a rag and calling her a heifer, we loved it because that was real. The real is missing from reality television. It's all fake now. And then these new girls are so boring. That Phelan, like, why? LaToya, why? Like, what is their purpose? Ugh.
Trying to go young and then get
rather paint dry. Watch paint dry.
I agree. I think that when you're, when they first, say when Atlanta first started and, everyone was new and they had all of these things going on, they all had legit drama. But when that kind of dies down and your life gets back on track, as viewers, you get bored with that. Let's be real. We watch it for the mess.
You do.
Because that was the precedent that we were set with. So when you're Kenya and you've been through all of this mess and life starts to kind of settle down, you're in a happy place, you then have to create drama because you want that buzz back and the same feedback that you used to have in the beginning. So after like doing 10 years of a show or even 5 years of a show, you've got nothing more to give, but you don't want to give up the check and you don't want to give up the publicity. So you have to create something, and it is very, very fake, very, very false, very, very fake.
Thank you so much, Carolina. What time is it over there in the UK?
It's 11:10. We've just gone into lockdown here.
Oh my gosh.
Well.
Gosh. Well, Nick, I don't know if you will be able to join us. I'm going live again at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're talking Andy Cohen blaming editing for his gaslighting of Monique Samuels. And that's 9 p.m., y'all. We coming right back here. I know you stay up late, but if you can't, if you can join us, that would be great.
I'll be in bed. I got work tomorrow.
All right, love, you have a great evening and get some rest. I know you work so hard. Bye, my love. I really like her. Hey guys, Alex wants to get on. Should we let Alex on?
Sure, Monica. I gotta run though. I gotta run.
Okay. Bye, hon. Bye, Amir. Bye. Love you. Bye. Bye. Hey, Peter, turn your camera on. Hey.
Hi, I'm so shy right now. I'm sorry. No, don't let Alex back on though. We've had enough of Alex already. So
okay. Comment in the chat, y'all. Should we let Alex back on? He wants to join.
Well, I just kind of want to say with the whole like Kenya situation, like we know her as to be like a messy kind of girl. So I think that by her like trying to like sabotage like Cynthia in that way was kind of like how Porsha was saying that she was trying to take her moment away from her. So that's something that Kenya needs to work on, is just like personal growth, because like if she's still doing it, then it's like it's gonna continue. Like for instances with you, Monica, like when she just like started like cussing you out and stuff like that. It was just like, well, like you have to report what's being told. It's like you can't make anything up, because then it goes back to you not being a reliable source or anything like that. So
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
it's like you can't be playing two sides of the fence. You can't be offended when like they're promoting you, and then when they have to start talking about you in a negative way. I feel like it also goes back to like with Wendy Williams with like that whole Nene thing, when like they were
Mm-hmm.
like promoting her and doing all that stuff, but when Wendy started talking bad about her, it started going to like, well, she's on drugs, like she's doing this, she's doing that. So it really like, these reality stars need to understand like how to separate like personal relationships with like knowing that your tea is gonna be spilled. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard. It's kind of a sticky situation to be in on your end as well. So I can only imagine like the amount of flack that you get for like trying to do your job, and also like trying to support these celebrities that are giving you a platform to talk about them.
Yeah.
Also with like the cameras, like with reality TV, I was also thinking about when Dorothy first came on and how real she was, and how much like she was like going in on Candace, like telling her all this stuff. And this season, when we saw Dorothy, she was very positive. She was very like, like kind of happy and stuff like that. So these people like know how to play the cameras now. And so I think that's what now we're missing in reality TV, is that we are now just seeing like one side of it, and we're not getting to see the full effects of it. Like, I don't know if you guys recall in like the season 12 of Atlanta, when like Todd and Mama Joyce were fighting, and they didn't even show us like what happened. Like, we kind of just got confessional drop-ins from Kandi and just little stuff like that. But I mean, that's where I believe the ratings would be falling. I am
Good
so
point.
nervous right now. I am so shy. I'm
That's
so sorry.
okay. Listen, we are all family here. You don't have to be nervous. You can let your guard down. We got you. I appreciate you calling in. Does the panel have anything to comment on Peter's comments, or?
I agree. I think you made some
Yeah.
really good points. Like you said, people, that's what I'm saying with LaToya. People watch the show and then they either come in hot or they come in super guarded. They don't want real reality to be shown. And I'm sorry, I still want my reality TV to be reality. That's kind of why I had to bow out of the Love and Hip Hop game, because it just all started to feel too scripted for me,
Yes.
or
Yes.
too much like they were obviously faking. So I
Mhm.
don't want Housewives to turn into that, and I feel like that's where it's starting to go.
It ran out of storylines. That's what it is. I mean, you got to recycle the people now. I think they need to recycle them more often. Don't wait 10 years. I mean, if you watch a regular scripted show, we used to get like 10 or 12 seasons of a show. Now you get like 5 or 6, and then it's a wrap. They move on to something else. You're just not going to hold people's attention. And if you don't have a lot of real life drama, you can't give me natural if you don't have it going on. So,
and that's why I agree with what you and Amir said earlier. Maybe it's time to phase some cities and bring on others. Like, that's why I didn't really agree with Nene's initial premises for a boycott, because, like I said, they got rid of Vicky Gunvalson too. So it seems they're trying to phase out the older OGs of the cast to bring in new cast. The problem is their core audiences love those OGs, and so
it's money.
it's hard to see women in 15 years and they're still fighting for brunch. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a weird genesis that has to happen. You want progression, but then you still like the old people. It doesn't matter. So the only thing that works is to say, okay, let's retire these shows, bring in some new cities with new people, and create that fresh feeling again.
Or just get in a completely new cast. Like, I was reading on Twitter, and they were saying like, oh, like, you guys wanted freshness and newness, but when LaToya brings something to talk about, like, you guys like dog her out and stuff like that. And I'm like, I kind of see where they're going with that, because we want to see like the drama. We want to see these girls like, hash things out and talk about stuff. But when we see a newbie try to do it, we're like, hey, like, slow your rolls. Like, you're new here still. Like, you have to earn your place. And that's like, I think that's where like they're missing the mark with these shows basically, because it's like no longer real. Like now we kind of like look at it as a side eye from like behind the scenes and just stuff like that now.
Yep. Thank you so much for calling in, Peter. You have a blessed day, and we'll chat with you soon. Call us back tomorrow. We'll be back here. And tonight.
I'm coming on tonight. I am coming on tonight. I'm ready to see
that's
Andy
right.
roasted.
I'll see you later, boo. Bye. All right. Oh, they got a lot of people here in the... Lexi was smoking on something. Girl, what you smoking on back there? I was like, let me bring Lexi on. Hey, boo.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, I'm so shy. I'm from England, from Manchester. Hello.
Oh, look at you. I love that.
Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New
thank
Year.
you. I've just been repeating, Kenya is the devil. She's the devil. She's the devil. I just think for ages she's just been miserable, and I think sometimes when you hurt people, and it's the best thing that someone's ever said ever. I feel like she doesn't know how to be a friend. She doesn't know how to be a friend at all. Cynthia does try, and I don't understand why people don't understand that. Cynthia's getting excited for her wedding. If she wanted it on TV, so she should do. I think Kenya's a bit jealous about that as well.
Yeah, she is. She definitely is. Yeah, tell me about it.
And are we allowed to speak about Giselle?
No. Well, not on this live, but we can talk about her later on when we talk about Andy and the way he lit Monique at the reunion and his excuses. You know, he watches this channel. They all do. I've gotten emails from Bravo executives. Yeah, they've emailed me, and we need to hold his feet to the fire. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for calling in, pretty lady. Bye. Bye. All right, I'm gonna bring Alex on for a few minutes. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how are you?
Good. You at work?
I am at work, but I can walk away. Because I got it like that.
Okay.
But are you aware that your mods have blocked me from the chat?
Ooh. Okay, well, we're not going to talk about administrative stuff on the lives. I mean, we can always get into that later. Send me an email at editor@allaboutthetea.com and voice your issues there.
Yeah, because they're out of control. Anyway, for my thoughts of the episode, Cynthia is really selfish for wanting to have her super spreader event like during this time in like October. And, you know, Kenya was right to check her, and I was really surprised that they broke the fourth wall. But all the time when she was giving her this advice, I'm like, Kenya, you are the last person to be giving any advice about how to keep a man, how to get a man, anything about a man. You are the last person to ever give any advice about that. Yes, and then in terms of her hating on Porsha, in terms of like the Black Lives Matter thing, obviously I think she was just doing that because she was hating because she got disinvited from the party. But and then she tries to tie it into like Corona and how like, oh, she's not wearing masks, oh, she's not physically distancing. I mean, I guess, but I feel like she wouldn't be saying that unless she got invited to the party. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a good point.
So yeah, and then I just want to, can I just say one, it's not related to the show, kind of, can I just say one thing?
Okay.
It's about the people in the chat. These people.
Oh, no. We're not going to, if you have any complaints or you want to voice any concerns, just send me an email, editor@allaboutthetea.com. And my assistant will, we'll process it and we'll handle your issue that way.
I just feel like I get a really bad rap and people think I'm trolling. And I just feel like I can't have any alternative opinion without getting completely beat up, talking about I'm light skinned, I don't know anything, I'm racist. Like,
oh gosh, Alex, send me an email, sweetheart. Okay, you have a great day and stay safe. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I gave him a shot. Jamal, we have Jamal.
Hey guys.
Hey Jamal.
How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good. We can't hear you all of a sudden. Your volume. went out. And now you're frozen, Jamal.
freezing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, freezing.
Oh, there you go. You're freezing up. I'm gonna put you in the backstage. Don't go anywhere, Jamal. I'll bring you back. Hey, D.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I just want to say, Monica, you're such a class act. I love how you handle your channel and everything. You're such a class act.
Thank
and you know, I may be a little petty. I might be, but the thing that kind of got me that I thought was funny was when they were having Porsha's party, and Kenya brought a gift for, is her daughter's name Pilar? I think it's Pilar. She brought a gift for Pilar, and the gift was wrapped so horribly. I don't know. And then she made this little snide comment about it being a Rosa Parks doll. And she just made some really strange comments about Porsha and her activism that comes off as really anti-Black. I don't know why she hasn't been involved in any important social justice issues. She's almost, 50 years old. She's had lots of time, half a century, to get involved.
Right.
And it bothers me that she kind of demeans Porsha and calls her names. And I mean, I don't know. It just bothered me. And I did think it was funny. Pilar did not open that gift. She was like, oh, thank you.
No, she knows that energy when she feels it, you know.
Yes, I know. She was like, no, thank you. That gift was left unwrapped in the Amazon box. Probably still unwrapped. Probably in the closet. Who knows?
Probably, or in the garbage, or donated someplace, you know.
Probably.
You don't want to spread around those kind of that bad energy. It's probably in the garbage, the best place where it belongs.
Yeah, she probably threw that away.
We don't want to even give it to a homeless shelter. Those kids don't deserve that. They don't deserve.
That's what I was thinking. You want to bring that energy to the house?
No.
You have to do a cleanse and sage the Amazon box. We don't have time for that. The other thing I think with the housewife shows, all of them are just so boring. And I think this is the end for the housewife franchise. I don't think that it's going to be around much longer.
No.
And I think, well, you're going to be talking about the housewives later tonight, right? You're going to be talking about Andy.
RHOA, yeah.
I have a feeling, and I don't know anything, but I do have a feeling we'll be hearing a lot about Andy this year. Some things that maybe we didn't know about. And there might be some truth to what Nene is saying. But I've been feeling this for like the last 2 weeks that we're going to be seeing and hearing some things. And Andy may or may not be at Bravo much longer. That's my opinion.
I think that's I think so too.
Dee, we need to chat offline, honey. You need to DM me on Instagram. Yeah, we need to chat. Wow.
Okay.
I love you, Dee. No, we can all feel that it's coming close to the end. It's oh my God. It's on its last legs, seriously. And even Andy don't care. He doesn't care. He's disconnected. When he was on Watch What Happens Live, acting like with his lies. We'll get into it later. I can't wait. Listen, y'all, 9 p.m. Eastern, we are dragging Mr. Andy Cohen. I have about 10 bullet points that I want to talk about.
I love
only
a bullet
10?
point.
Only
I
10?
love a bullet point.
Only 10. But you got your bullet point.
Monica, you got your binder? I need to see a binder tonight or some footnotes. Do that for the binder.
We need a
classified documentation is what I have on this.
A
PowerPoint. You hear that? That's the folder. Classified documentation.
I need the PowerPoint. I need it all. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. The nerve, the audacity. Oh.
Can one screen be like a Zoom with the bullet points? I like bullet points. I'm a nerd.
I might do that.
A PowerPoint. I'm here for it.
Ain't nothing like a good
pointer, like Wendy Williams, right? How she points to the screen.
Exactly.
You need
I'm a whole nerd. Have them fly in.
Oh, I love you, Ples. I love you. You're my type of chick. Yes. Yes. One time for the nerds. I love it. Yes. All right, Dee. So we'll see you later, and we'll dive deep into Mr. Andy Cohen. Yes. Yep. Yep.
It's 2021. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
It's time. A change has to come. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yes. All right, love. Get some rest. Get something to drink, something to eat, and come back fresh and recharged for our robust discussion at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. We'll see you later, Dee. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Honey. Bye. All right. Oh, Bishop's here. Hey, Bishop.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. Where are you at? Good.
I know I'm late to the party.
That's okay.
I got it.
We're ready to wrap this thing up.
But
wrap this thing up. Hey, I'm gonna add Mara on. Hey, Mara.
Hey,
Mara. How are you? By the way, thank you for all the support and the super chats and the comments. You are just amazing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me? You?
Yes, yeah, you. How you doing?
So I think that Kenya is more not so similar to Candace. I think she's more similar to Giselle, because I don't know if the right word is pivot or deters, but I feel like she really does a good job of, I'm gonna start a fight with Nene, I'm gonna start a fight with Porsha, I'm gonna, highlight all of Cynthia's imperfections so that we don't have to focus on my flawed marriage. We can just focus on my flawed personality. And I feel like that's kind of similar to Giselle, where she doesn't ever address anything directly with regard to her relationship where we would connect with her. She only reflects on stuff like, oh yeah, I did that, or no, I guess I'm messy, or this. She never really addresses like something personal. It's always something subjective, like, well, if that's the way you want to see it. Like, for example, and I don't know if I sent you this, Monica, in the private chats or not, but I saw a video, like an old video of Atlanta where Phaedra and Kenya are first becoming friends, and they fall out over the donkey booty, stallion booty. But then Kenya, fast forward to the future, Kenya gets all hyped and overworked about Tanya making a little prank about her wig line. So it's like, so you can come for someone's business the way you did with Stallion Booty, but someone can't make a joke about your hair. And then in the meantime, what does she say about Mark? Oh, I don't want to talk about him. I'd rather not say.
Right. Exactly.
It just
double
for me,
standard. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, I just feel like she's more of a Giselle character in that way, where she's going to sit here and tell us about Strippergate. She's going to tell us about how Portia's not really for the movement. She's for herself. But when they ask her about Mark, she's like, I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know. It's like, well, you have to know something. You have to have an opinion.
It's hard for her to answer that question because she don't know about Mark. He don't call her. They barely speak, or even when they lived in the same house, he ignored her. He paid her dust.
Did they live in the same house, or did they stay in the same
house? No, I mean when he would come visit, when he would come visit and film, when he was filming and stuff. But even then, he was staying at a hotel and just occasionally just drop by to film. Hey, Bishop, join the party.
I have an exclusive on why the whole thing with her and Mark went down. She was missing them Cash App payments. I'm messing around. That's a joke, but I just want to jump in because I'm just overall just sick of Kenya, and I agree with you about her being the Giselle character, because she does deflect from everything, and quarantine have not been nice to her and Giselle. I mean, I'm like, good God, what happened? It's like all them demons, like, okay, you here to face them now because you're stuck in quarantine, and it looked like they beat them down.
It's like Ghost when all the like black little remember in Ghost the bad, like at the very end when all of a sudden the bad guy has to face all the little black
Yeah.
angels or black demons. It's like,
Yeah.
it's all coming back to you.
It's coming right back to her. It's like a boomerang. You treat
Yeah.
people bad, it's gonna reflect on how your beauty, your outer beauty looks. Because she thinks you're so beautiful and stuff like that, and they rest on their beauty. And guess what? It got snatched from them during quarantine.
Yep. Totally.
I think also with Kenya, she going back to the double standard, when you look at that reunion with her and Phaedra where they discuss the videos, she goes in on Phaedra about her looks. And she says things about her, and I'm just like, wait, but wasn't you at the last reunion talking about how people shouldn't talk about, you know what I mean? Like, just that whole, she'll sit there and go in hard. But when people kind of go back, she's like, oh, so you're calling me a B word? You're calling me this now? You're another woman. How could you do this? And it's like, you got to pick a side, girl. You got to pick a side. Like, you have to choose how you're going to conduct yourself, and then people will treat you that way. Do you ever see people coming after Cynthia that way? No. They'll talk to Cynthia about the issues they have with her, but they don't come in after, I mean, except for Marlo with Scallywag, right? But like, other than that, you really don't see people coming in. And even Marlo apologized for that. It was like, I shouldn't have said that, and I'm sorry. And that was done and done. So
good points, Myra. Good points. Are you joining us later this evening for the dragging of Andy Cohen?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'll be on the live chat, but I definitely will be in the chat below and watching you guys. But that's all I had to say about Kenya. Was like, I think that her role in this is more Giselle, not so much Candace. It's more like, we just want to know about you, girl. We don't want to know about your fights. We want to know about you.
Right.
And she ain't giving us that.
No.
But thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. You have a great evening. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Who do we have here? Olivia's been waiting for quite some time. Hello.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
First of all, I love y'all. I am a senior mass communications major, so I love everything that y'all are doing.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I go to school near Houston at Prairie View A&M University, the best
Ooh, PV. Shout out to PV. Yes.
Okay, y'all. So first of all, Kenya is not a good person. I'm sure we already established that. But it's getting to the point where I'm hating seeing her on TV every Sunday. Because it's just it's very toxic, y'all. Like, it's very toxic. And I really agree with y'all how the real and reality TV is just fading away. And I hate to say that because I'm such a Real Housewives of Atlanta fan. And just really like a Real Housewives fan in general. But Kenya is just one of those people that she's just Giselle. Like, I just cannot, and I cannot with Giselle. I cannot with Kenya, but I feel like it was really disgusting as being a Black individual to see her come at Porsha that way and basically trying to act like her activism is very staged. Because since you was Miss Black USA, and what do you have to show for? You know what I'm saying? And you could have been the one who brought that to the show first, and could have been the one who was bringing Black Lives Matter to the show and just stand up for Black women to the show. But we never have seen that from you. If anything, we see you tear Black women down and try to tear down families and all of that. But I just feel like that was very disgusting. And I'm not sure if you guys watch Speak on It with Kandi. Do y'all?
I don't watch none Kandi.
Not anymore.
I do sometimes.
I used to.
Well, before I hopped on y'all live, I watched her Speak on It from last week's episode. I mean, this episode that just aired last night. And I love Kandi and I love Cynthia. Sometimes I get kind of disappointed on the way that they handle Kenya. Because I'm a Leo, so I'm just a great person overall, perfect.
That's a Leo for you. That's a Leo for you right there.
I just cannot. Some things, it's just some qualities in your friend that you cannot just be like, that's just them. Some things are toxic and you have to be like, okay, girl, I love you, but I love you from a distance. And I feel like that they should be like that with Kenya sometimes, because I watched their Speak on It and, they break down everything that happened in the episode. They talked about the newbies, but I kind of was disappointed not to hear them talk anything about what Kenya said about Porsha. Because I felt like that was something that should have been addressed as y'all two being her friends and y'all two being two people that were at the party. I feel like y'all should have addressed what she said because what she said was wrong. And regardless of how you feel towards Porsha, when it comes down to that issue, Black Lives Matter, that is way bigger than Porsha, I feel like you should have kept your mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just on period. Because this not just about Porsha, honey. This is about people way bigger than you. And you have never used your platform to show us anything. So be happy that somebody on your show is.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like that I just had to get off my chest with Kenya. Like, girl, come on now. And then they on Speak On It, they also said that they just got done a couple of days ago filming the finale at Lake Bailey, and they said the finale was like crazy. So I'm guessing we might see something pick up during the season because right now it is kind of dry. But they said that the season finale was like very all over the place, and it just got real crazy. They were saying that they still had not calmed down from it, so. I guess we'll see, child.
We will see, child. Listen, I made a mistake, y'all. Not 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going live at 8 p.m. Eastern, not 9. So come back for the dragization of Andy Cohen at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay?
I'm trying to figure out, should everybody wear all black?
Ooh,
Because
child.
what is going on?
Well,
Is it going to be that bad?
Well, I have done funeral services online, so I don't mind doing no obituary.
Well, we got the bishop here. He's going to be leading us in service. All right, y'all. Olivia, beautiful young lady. Good luck with your college career, and we'll see you back here at 8:00 if you're going to, join us for the service.
Thank y'all.
You're welcome. Bye. Bye. All right, y'all. Listen, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like the content and you want to keep updated on all the piping hot content, bang that notification bell. Also, hit that like button. Those likes help us out so much. Appreciate y'all, panel. This was a good discussion. I mean, we're trying to make the most of it.
We grasping at straws right about now.
Yeah, got scraps.
I mean, I have not seen like 2 or 3 weeks of the show, and I'm like, you know what? I should start watching it when it's time to go to bedtime because it's a good bedtime story. I'm serious. It can put.
90 Day Fiance
children
was
to sleep.
giving more than that. I was like into that more than I was this. I was like, why am I here?
I remember I fell asleep on episode, I think it was 2 or 3. And I was in the middle watching on my iPad, and I was like, fell asleep, hit the pillow. I'm like, dang. I woke
skip
up.
a
It
few
was
and
over.
come back, and ain't nothing. You ain't missing.
It ain't nothing. I went back and rewinded. I'm like, okay, that's it.
All right, y'all. Again, subscribe to the channel. I have a goal. We're almost there, and we're gonna have a big old celebration when we get to that goal, teacup. So subscribe to the channel and bang that notification bell. Schoolboy, how can they find you?
Oh, at school_boy on Twitter, and then on Instagram is school_boy 2012. Oh, I'm sorry, 2021.
Okay. Bishop, how can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bishop Red Pill. And then on here, if you just type in hashtag Bishop Red Pill, you can find me on YouTube. And it's The Bishop is the channel's name. The Bishop.
Plez, how can they find you?
I am scared, beautiful on Instagram. And my YouTube channel, we don't have any content yet, but it'll be set up by the end of the month, is just Scared of Beautiful with spaces, no periods.
Wonderful. All right. Like I said, y'all, we are going live at 8 p.m. Eastern right back here on this channel. You don't want to miss it. We are dragging Andy Cohen from here to the kingdom come, child. Child.
Let me get my steak ate and get my revitalized.
Yeah, go get your vitamin water, your steak, your chicken, whatever you got to get, and come back here at 8 o'clock. You don't want to miss it. And again, as I said, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Help us out. And we'll see y'all. We're signing off from now. Moderators, thank you for moderating the chat. Everyone that sent in a super chat or a cash app, thank y'all so much. We appreciate you. And teacups, as always, y'all are rock stars, you know. Love all the comments. Love y'all. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye.